It always seems impossible until it's done. These words, often attributed to the great Nelson Mandela, carry a weight of truth that we all recognize deep down, whether we're chasing dreams, overcoming adversity, or simply trying to survive the storms of life. Think about it. Every great achievement in history once looked like a fantasy. Every groundbreaking idea, every major movement, every incredible invention, they all began with a no, a doubt, a voice that said, "That's not possible." The airplane, humans weren't meant to fly. Electricity, you're wasting your time. Ending apartheid, the system is too powerful. Walking on the moon, out of the question. But someone stubborn enough, someone courageous enough believed anyway. They dared to keep going when it looked hopeless. They fought when fear whispered, "Give up." They took another step when their legs were shaking. And in the end, they proved the world wrong. And that, friends, is how the impossible becomes possible, by doing it anyway. Always seems impossible until it's done. I want to talk to you about a sentence that has fueled revolutions, inspired underdogs, and reminded the broken-hearted to keep moving forward. It's just a few words, but they carry immense power. It always seems impossible until it's done. At first glance, it sounds simple. But if you really let those words sink in, you'll discover a deep truth about life, struggle, and success. These aren't just inspirational words. They're a map to your breakthrough. They are a mirror reflecting the truth that the impossible is often just the unfamiliar, the unattempted, or the misunderstood. What seems impossible is often just unfinished. Think back to anything you've accomplished in your life, anything at all. Before it was done, didn't it feel uncertain, maybe even overwhelming? Starting a business, learning a new skill, moving to a new place, healing from a setback at first. The challenge always seems bigger than us. That's because we tend to judge the outcome from the starting line. We compare our baby steps to someone else's finish line. But the truth is, what seems impossible is often just unfinished. Once you begin, once you keep going, progress changes perception. Suddenly, the mountain you feared becomes a path you're walking. The illusion of impossible. Let's talk about the word impossible for a second. What does it really mean? Does it mean no one can do it? Or just that you haven't done it yet? Does it mean it can't be done ever? Or that it's just hard and scary right now? Here's the truth. Impossible is often a story written by fear. It's the voice in your head that says, "What if I fail?" It's the doubts of others projected onto your dreams. It's the comfort zone disguising itself as wisdom. But the beautiful thing is that illusion fades when you act. The first step breaks the spell. Every small win weakens fear's grip. You don't need to know the whole plan. You just need to keep walking. History is proof that the impossible is possible. Let's take a look at the world around us. Airplanes, smartphones, the internet, skyscrapers, electric cars. Every one of these things was once considered impossible until someone came along who didn't believe that. The Wright brothers didn't have degrees in aviation, just determination and vision. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Nelson Mandela, who spoke the very quote we're discussing, was imprisoned for 27 years before leading South Africa out of apartheid. Why? Because they believed in what they could not yet see. History doesn't remember the people who said, "It can't be done." It remembers the ones who did it anyway. Your impossible might be someone else's inspiration. Here's something powerful to think about. The very thing that feels impossible to you right now, starting over, building that dream, healing from your pain, may one day be someone else's hope story. Imagine a day in the future where someone says, "If they could do it, maybe I can too." But that future won't exist unless you keep going now. That's the power of perseverance. When you break through, you don't just change your life, you light a path for others. You show people what's possible. You become living proof that dreams, even the wild ones, are worth chasing. Keep moving even if it's slow, even if it's scary. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need permission from the world. All you need is a decision to try again, to take one more step, to not quit today. Let me remind you, every expert was once a beginner. every winner was once doubted. Every strong person was once on their knees, unsure if they'd ever get back up. So if life feels heavy right now, if the goal feels far away, if your dream feels too big or too broken, remember this: it only seems impossible until it's done. In closing, let this be your fuel. You are capable of more than you think. You are stronger than you feel. You are closer than you know. Don't let fear or failure write your story. Let your faith, your persistence, and your refusal to quit write it instead. Because one day, you'll look back at the very thing that once felt impossible and smile because you did it. Impossibility is just an illusion pushed through the fog. Let's take a moment to think about the word impossible. What comes to mind when you hear it? A locked door, a wall too high to climb, a dream that feels too big or too far away. We've all faced those moments when the goal looks unreachable, the path looks unclear, and everything in us wants to give up. But I'm here to tell you today, impossibility is just an illusion. It is a fog, not a wall. And if you dare to push through it, you'll discover something powerful on the other side. It was never as real or as permanent as it seemed. The fog of fear, let's talk about that fog, because that's what impossible really is. It's fear in disguise. It clouds our vision. It distorts our thinking. It whispers lies like, "You're not good enough. People like you don't succeed. What if you fail?" But here's the truth. Fear is a poor prophet. It has no idea what you're truly capable of. Fear sees the unknown and assumes the worst, but faith sees the same unknown and imagines what's possible. We have to stop letting fear define our future. The fog may look thick, but when you take a step forward, it starts to part. Every time you move through fear, you shrink its power and increase your strength. The illusion of limitations. Many of us believe we're limited by our past, our circumstances, or our resources. But limitations are often illusions created by repeated doubts and stories we've told ourselves for too long. Who told you it was impossible? Was it someone who quit on their dream? Was it a moment of failure that you never fully recovered from? Was it a society that labeled you before it knew your name? Don't let someone else's ceiling become your floor. Don't let a moment of pain become a lifetime of paralysis. What feels like a permanent limitation is often just a temporary challenge. The mind can be either a prison or a launching pad, and the choice is yours. Examples that shatter the myth of impossible. History gives us countless examples of people who broke through the fog and proved the illusion of impossibility wrong. Helen Keller was deaf and blind, but she became an author and world-renowned speaker. Roger Bannister was told no human could run a mile in under 4 minutes until he did it. And within months, many others did the same. Why? Because someone shattered the illusion. Malala Yousafzai was shot for wanting an education, but today, she's a global symbol of hope and courage. What's the common thread? They didn't wait for the fog to clear. They moved anyway. They dared to believe that what others called impossible was simply not done yet. You have what it takes, even if it doesn't feel like it. You might be facing your own fog right now. Maybe it's a dream you've buried, a goal you keep putting off, a healing process that feels endless. And maybe it feels like you're stuck in the middle of nowhere with no clear way forward. But remember this: clarity comes after action, not before it. You don't need to have it all figured out to take the first step. You just need to move 1 inch forward, one decision, one act of courage. Progress creates confidence, motion creates momentum, and once you get going, you'll realize that you've always had more strength inside you than you knew. Push through the fog. Your breakthrough awaits when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like quitting, when everything in your body screams, "Turn back." That's usually the moment right before the breakthrough. The fog of impossibility is always thickest just before it lifts. That's when you need to push the hardest. When the finish line seems out of sight, keep going. When the door doesn't open the first time, knock again. When nobody believes in you, believe in yourself twice as much. Because the truth is, you're not fighting the impossible, you're fighting doubt. And doubt can't stop you unless you hand it your power. Dreams become reality through relentless action. We all have dreams. Some are loud, shouted from the rooftops. Others are quiet whispered in the corners of our hearts where no one else can hear. Dreams of freedom, of success, of impact, of a better life. But let's face it, dreams don't come true just because we want them to. They don't magically appear because we think positive thoughts or write them down in a journal. They become real only through relentless action. Let me repeat that. Dreams become reality through relentless action, not occasional effort, not wishful thinking, but persistent, focused, tireless action, the kind that doesn't back down when things get hard. A dream without action is just a fantasy, let's get honest. Dreaming is easy, it's free, it's comfortable, anyone can want something, anyone can imagine a better life, but the dreamers who change their lives and change the world are the ones who do something about it. A dream without action is like a car without fuel. It may look shiny and full of potential, but it's not going anywhere until you move it forward. You can't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of yourself to show up. You have to start where you are with what you have and take the next step, however small it may seem. The path will never be smooth. That's the point. Here's the truth they don't tell you. Every dream will test you. You will face rejection. You will fail. You will feel like quitting. People will misunderstand you, mock you, or doubt you. But that's not a sign to stop. It's a test to see how badly you really want it. Every obstacle, every setback, every painful moment is part of the path. No one builds anything great without a fight. That's why action must be relentless, because your dream will not hand itself to you. You must work for it, bleed for it, and refuse to quit when others would have walked away. Relentless action doesn't mean perfection, it means persistence. It means showing up again, even when yesterday was a disaster. It means trying again after every no. It means saying, this is hard, but I'm not stopping. Motion builds momentum. The good news is, once you start moving, momentum begins to build. At first, progress feels invisible. You're putting in work and seeing little results, but that's how growth works, like a seed in the soil. For a long time, nothing seems to happen, but underneath, roots are forming. Foundations are being built. And one day, breakthrough happens, all because you kept moving. Action fuels belief. It creates confidence. Every small win makes the next step easier. And before you know it, the thing you once dreamed of is something you're living. But none of that happens unless you take the first step, and then the second, and then the third, no matter how unglamorous or slow it feels. Relentless doesn't mean loud, it means consistent. Let's clear up a common myth. Being relentless isn't about being loud, aggressive, or flashy. It's about being consistent. Quiet discipline beats loud motivation every time. It's waking up early to study, work, or build when no one's watching. It's saying no to distractions even when everyone else is saying yes. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. Relentless people don't rely on hype, they rely on habits, and over time, their actions speak louder than any words ever could. Your dream needs you to keep going. Let me speak to the one who's tired, the one who's been trying and still hasn't seen results. Don't give up. Your dream needs you to keep going, even if the progress is slow, even if no one claps for you, even if it feels like you're walking in the dark. Because every step you take, even the small, quiet ones, are building something bigger than you can see. Your effort is planting seeds. Your discipline is shaping character. Your grind is creating the future. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be relentless. Make your dream real. So here's what I want you to remember. You don't need a miracle. You don't need permission. You don't even need a detailed plan. You just need to move and keep moving and refuse to stop. Because the people who make their dreams come true aren't the luckiest or the most gifted, they're the ones who don't quit. So today, take one more step. Do one more thing. Push 1 inch further, and before long, your dream won't just be something you talk about. It'll be something you live, because dreams become reality through relentless action. You are stronger and closer than you think. There's something you need to hear today, something your soul might be quietly craving to remember. You are stronger than you think, and you are closer than you realize. In a world that constantly reminds us of what we lack, how far we still have to go, and how impossible our goals might seem, we often forget what's already inside us and how close we really are to a breakthrough. Let this be the moment where you're reminded of your power. You've already survived what you thought would break you. Think back for a moment. Look at all the things you've already come through, the pain you didn't think you could handle, the loss you didn't think you'd survive, the failures that made you question everything. You thought those things were going to break you, but they didn't. You're still here, and you didn't just survive, you grew. You got wiser, stronger, more aware. The person you are today is built from strength you already proved you had. You didn't always recognize it in the moment, but it was there in your decision to try again, to keep walking, to show up even when it hurt. So why would now be any different? Why would this next challenge be the one that finally defeats you? It won't, because the same strength that carried you before is still in you now. You are not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. The journey feels longer right before the break. Through it's a strange truth about life. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the harder it often feels. The resistance increases, the doubts grow louder. The obstacles get heavier. Why? Because you're being stretched, molded, prepared. Right before the finish line, life asks you, how bad do you want this? Will you keep pushing even when the results are invisible? Will you keep believing even when it feels like nothing's working? And if you do, if you just hold on a little longer, you'll find out something surprising. You were closer than you thought. Too many people give up inches from the finish line. They stop running not because they can't make it, but because they think they can't. Their mind gave out before their body did. Their fear shut the door just before opportunity opened it. Don't be one of them. Keep going even if all you can do today is crawl forward. Keep showing up because sometimes consistency is stronger than motivation. You have more power inside you than you've been taught. Let's be honest, most of us were raised to play it safe. We were told to stay in the lines, not to dream too big, not to risk too much. And over time, that conditioning makes us believe that we're only capable of small, safe things. But you were born for more than survival. You were born to build, to create, to rise, to lead, to heal, to inspire, and you don't need a title or a million followers to begin. All you need is to trust what's already inside you. You have talents you haven't explored yet. You have resilience you haven't tested yet. You have ideas, dreams, and gifts that the world needs, but they will stay hidden unless you give yourself permission to act on them. Your power isn't waiting out there, it's waiting in here. And the moment you stop waiting for someone to unlock it for you is the moment your life begins to change. Progress isn't always loud, but it's always happening. Let's talk about something that discourages many people: slow progress. We think that if we're not achieving massive results, we're not getting anywhere, but that's a lie. Progress isn't always loud. Growth isn't always visible. Healing isn't always public. But just because you don't see the progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, that's progress. Every time you get up after a fall, that's progress. Every time you speak kindly to yourself, that's growth. Every time you keep moving, even when it's hard, you're getting closer. So don't quit just because it's not flashy. The seed doesn't look like the tree, but it holds everything the tree will become. Your small steps matter, and one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You're closer than you think. You may not feel like it, but your breakthrough may be just one bold decision away, one email away, one brave conversation away, one more try away. Don't underestimate how quickly things can shift, especially when you stay ready, stay hungry, and stay in motion. Remember, the dream was placed in your heart for a reason. You didn't choose it randomly, it chose you. That vision of who you want to be and what you want to create, it's real, it's possible, and it's close. So when life gets heavy, when the road seems endless, when doubt whispers you're not enough, speak back with truth. I am stronger than I think, I am closer than I know, and I will not quit now. Because the real you, the powerful, creative, unstoppable version of you isn't found in comfort. It's revealed in struggle. It shows up after the fog. It shows up through the fire. Refuse to quit because someone has to do the impossible. There comes a time in every journey, whether it's chasing a dream, building a vision, healing from heartbreak, or overcoming struggle where quitting starts to look like the easiest option. The doors aren't opening. The progress is slow. The people you thought would support you have gone silent, and you're tired, frustrated, wondering if all of this effort is even worth it. But I want you to remember this. Refuse to quit because someone has to do the impossible, and maybe, just maybe, that someone is you. Quitting is easy. That's why most people do it. The world is full of people who started but never finished. People who had the talent, the idea, the potential, but didn't have the fight to keep going when things got tough. Why? Because quitting is easy. It asks nothing of you. It protects you from discomfort. It shelters you from risk. It whispers lies like, maybe this isn't meant to be. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should wait until I'm ready. But here's the truth. Nothing worth building will ever feel easy all the time, and no one who ever did something great did it without fighting off 1,000 reasons to quit. What separates the extraordinary from the average is not intelligence, background, or luck, it's grit. It's a decision to keep walking when every voice around you says, turn back. The impossible always looks that way until someone does it. Think about all the things that were once called impossible: flying through the sky, landing on the moon, curing deadly diseases, ending apartheid, breaking the 4-minute mile, building empires from a garage or a one-bedroom apartment. Every single one of those breakthroughs started with someone who refused to quit. Someone who had every reason to give up, but didn't. Someone who looked at the word impossible and said, watch me. Why not you? Why can't your idea change the game? Why can't your comeback inspire the world? Why can't your determination be the beginning of something historic? Someone has to do the impossible. Someone has to break the cycle. Someone has to open the door that no one else could. Refuse to quit because maybe it's your fight that unlocks the future. Quitting stops momentum, but consistency builds it. You don't have to leap mountains in a single day. You just have to keep showing up, keep moving forward, keep putting in the reps. Small steps become habits. Habits become routines. Routines become results, and results turn dreams into reality. But none of that happens if you stop. Let me be clear, rest is okay. Reflection is powerful. Taking a break is human. Quitting, that's surrendering your future for a temporary feeling. Because yes, quitting feels good in the moment, but days, months, or years later, the pain of regret will speak louder than the comfort of giving up ever did. Your fight is bigger than you. Here's what we forget sometimes. Your decision to keep going isn't just about you. It's about the lives connected to your story. You may not see it now, but your fight, your perseverance, your grit is paving the way for someone else. A child watching your every move, a friend quietly struggling, needing hope, a stranger who will one day hear your story and say, if they could do it, so can I. You are a ripple effect in motion. You are a living example that impossible doesn't mean never, it just means not yet. So when you're tempted to give up, remember, you're not just carrying your dream, you're carrying light for others. Pain is temporary, purpose is eternal. Let's be real. The journey is going to hurt. There will be late nights, lonely moments, failures, self-doubt, and things that just don't go your way. But pain is temporary. Fear is temporary. Being misunderstood is temporary. But purpose, that's eternal. The impact of your determination will outlive the struggle. The reward on the other side of discipline is greater than the relief that comes from quitting. And if you can just hold on, if you can just push through the valley, you'll rise stronger, you'll rise wiser, you'll rise into the person you were always meant to be. Someone has to break through, so today you have a choice. You can take the easy exit, you can bow to the pressure, you can stop halfway up the mountain, or you can rise, you can wipe the tears, you can take one more step. Refuse to quit because someone has to do the impossible, and if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Let the world say it's crazy. Let fear scream that it's too late. Let doubt try to cloud your mind, but stand firm, stand tall.